Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leo Full Moon Meditation. And today we'll dive deeper into the Leo archetype. I'm so happy to see you all live here. And also hello to you, whoever is watching the replay. I would invite us all to turn on the video if it's possible in terms of the Wi-Fi, so that we can also create the shared space together. This recording will be only on my face on it, so your privacy is secured. And also at any point, if you wish to share anything, you're welcome to unmute yourself. Your video will not be visible, but your audio will be heard, just so you know. Or you can also share in the chat, and then I'll read the shares in the comments in the chat for everyone to reflect. And I encourage you to share, because we are doing this as a group, so we are each a part of the one whole, and so whatever pieces that you may bring to the, or may come through you, are actually gifts for the whole group. So let us know. Wow. I feel that this is a very powerful time. I have to admit that, I feel like I want to dive deeper into the Leo, and yet there's a part of me saying that I did not study enough for this, that I did not do well enough prep work and homework for this. And that may or may not be true, but I trust that the transmission that needs to be there, that it will also be there. So saying that out loud, just because it's that energy is in me and it's affecting the whole group if I don't say it. So it's named, it's out there, take it or leave. So I just want to recap some of the Leo qualities and the keynotes and the meaning of Leo in soul development. And that is that when we begin the astrological year in Aries, and the soul begins its landing into the matter and is manifested into form in Cancer, and is not yet individualized as a soul, but rather part of the mass awareness and mass consciousness. It's in Leo that the individual soul begins to become conscious of itself, and becoming conscious, self-conscious, means that it's when the soul is not developed enough, or not so developed. There are stages, obviously, so every stage is enough, but when in the teachings it is said or referred to as undeveloped human. And that means that according to the teachings, to be a human requires at least a third initiation, which means that at that stage, the personality and soul are already fused. So that means that the personality is integrated so much so that it can carry the energy of the soul. And that is why the undeveloped human needs to go through the processes of personality integration in order to hold that soul energy, and also activate the energy of the animal body, as the animal body is also the polar opposite of the soul. And in this process, the soul becomes the point of governance. The soul does not abide by the conditionings of the environment or the personality, meaning that the sensitivity, the stages of development in the sensitivity, and sensitivity is one of the keynotes, in addition to self-consciousness and individuality in Leo, that as one develops as a soul, there is the awareness or sensitivity to the environment conditions. So as a soul, we become aware of the time and space that we're in. And then we are pretty much ruled by the personality desires. And then we become aware of the soul qualities, soul needs, and soul wants. And later on, and it's my understanding that in the third initiation, when we are aware of our soul purpose and start to activate or act on that, we start to become sensitive to the soul governance, soul conditioning within. And instead of conforming to the external conditioning, we tend to condition the external according to our soul purpose. So it means that we are not preaching or converting anybody as such. That is the past history and one of the shadows of the past millennia, but rather we are allowing our souls to shine. So Leo is one of the signs, or it is specifically the sign of soul shine. Like the sun is shining its light on the planets that are circulating around the sun. The sun is nourishing the planets with its light. And so each soul is the center of its community, center of its group. And at this stage is nourishing the planets, the other beings around it, but is also affected by it. So it's not in this vacuum. The soul does not live in a vacuum, but rather is communing with the other beings around it. And this is the sensitivity that is needed to develop in order to develop from the self-centered, self-conscious, and selfish Leo to more group awareness. And at this stage of development, the soul is not fully Aquarian yet, as this Leo is still at the center. But when we are moving towards the Aquarian way of living and Aquarian way of an Aquarian age era, Aquarian age, the soul actually removes itself from the center, and the center becomes void, and the life, the spirit, the monadic energy can flow through. And when the soul and the sun removes itself from the center, it joins the group of other suns, other souls that are circulating around the black hole. And so it is a huge step of development to take, and it will take some time. So it may happen in this lifetime, or it may happen in the next. So please have patience. And the fire, yeah, so the mantra of Leo is that when the soul calls the human or the person on earth, walking on earth here, and is calling soul to shine more, the soul calls, all is fire, consume. And then if the soul is ready to take the initiation, it responds, I am that, and that I am, that am I. I am that, and that am I. And this refers to the three fires of Leo, as the Leo is ruled by the sun on all levels, the personality, soul, and spirit. And one other layer of fire that I'm going to add today is Sirius. Sirius brings in the cosmic fire. And now as the Lionsgate portal is open and we're moving towards the climax of it, this is a time for deep spiritual revelations and beginnings, and developing the consciousness, as Leo also represents self-consciousness, but consciousness as a key word. And when consciousness and self-consciousness are developed, then initiation is taken. And also a new cycle of revelations and beginnings is beginning or starting. And so it's a very powerful time for us right now. And it is through crisis that Leo is also one of the signs of crisis, and the crisis in Leo is the inchoate power and diffused power, and that is the first stage. So basically the power that Leo carries is fragmented and not really aligned. And what is required and what is the next stage of that crisis is personality integration. And why, especially today, on the 31st of July, this is significant, and I've been feeling into the energy of today, is that I can sense a deep peace and silence, and this like a wave that is taking an in-breath, that is waiting for something to shift very drastically even. And the moon is in Capricorn today, and Capricorn is one of the three signs that is the sign of crisis. And so the crisis usually refers to something that brings out a new level of revelation, realization, unfoldment, something that needs to be dropped. The old version of you needs to be dropped so that the new version of you can shine. And what is also relevant today and in Leo and in this time is, what I find very curious and where my attention is drawn, is that the sun actually fails Neptune and Uranus as planets that are ruling and affecting Leo. And Neptune is on the soul level, on the esoteric level, and Uranus is ruling Leo on the monadic level. And it's a very, very developed stage that the Uranus energy can be sensed. So I'm not there yet, and I'm not focused on that. So maybe that's why my interest goes to Neptune. Neptune is retrograde at the moment, so it's backing. It seems to be backing, and it's slowing down, and it's giving us opportunities to transform things quite a lot. And it is the symbol or the representative of waters of deity. And so we are going to dive deeper into the soul mysteries and the soul shine. I believe the last piece I want to share before we go into our guided journey today is that in the teachings, there is this term, light supernal. And what I experience is that light supernal refers to soul shine, that it comes from the heart, and that is exactly that. All those many layers of fires pressed together, fused together, and it's just beaming this supernal light. And when the personality and soul are fused, then the human stands in the light and as the light, without letting the fear or pain of human experience deter itself from the purpose or the plan that it has come here to fulfill. So, with that said, let's dive in. And so I invite you to find a posture that is comfortable enough for your body, as these energies are so powerful that I already mentioned this. I already mentioned this in the new moon meditation, but I just find it so important that not only today, but in general, please take care of your nervous system health and your glandular health and your physical health, as those are really important for the soul energy and the soul to be able to land physically into this body. And so if you in this meditation, if you find yourself somewhere else than in the window of tolerance, meaning that you feel either way too active or just falling asleep, then find your way to relaxation, find your way to ease, to more easeful breathing and alertness and awakeness, and trust your body with that. And as you find the posture and also the place in the space that you're in that feels safe enough and comfortable enough for your body, have a look around first. Let's activate the nervous system a bit so that you can just slowly move your head and allow your eyes to just move with your head, scrolling and noticing the details and allowing those details to come to you. Noticing how this landing space that you're in how that affects your breathing. Or not. Maybe it doesn't. But for me, it just brings out the sigh, deeper sigh, and more of a descent of my body into the surface that I'm sitting on right now. And so see if you can just, through the gaze and the slow movement of your head, bring yourself more into your body, into your breath, and into the surface that you're on. Relaxing your eyes. So if they're moving very fast, give yourself permission to relax your eyes. Open your senses, not only the visual, but the audio. What sounds do you hear? Can you hear? No matter how subtle or silent they may be, or if they're coming from your body. As you keep your eyes relaxed. Then open your senses through your nose and your mouth. Breathing in any smells, tastes in your mouth at the moment. Finally, the touch, the tactile sense. If there is a place in your body that is calling for your own touch, your attention, please take a moment to give that to yourself right now. Doesn't matter what need it is meeting or what purpose it is serving. Just allow that and trust the wisdom of your body. Trust your intuition with this. So the past couple of weeks has been a time for us to become more aware of our soul's wants and needs and desires, the qualities of our soul, the essence. And regardless of whether or not you joined the new meditation or if you caught the replay or not, it doesn't matter. Just as you drop deeper into your body, if it supports you, you can also close your eyes right now and go within and just sense through all the senses and sensed doors we just went through. That what is or what has been the light that has been shining through you over the past 2 weeks. Trust your intuition and just name out loud those qualities to yourself. Not like a shopping or grocery list, but just slowly one thing and then stop, let that vibrate in your body. Let that activate in your physical form as well. Let that become a reality in the three-dimensional world as well. And again, you don't need to analyze whether this is a soul or personality trait. Just trust when you ask yourself, how have I been shining? What the answer is, or answers. Or what shining wants to come through. And if there are any impulses in your physical body that call you to move in any way, whether that be very subtle or very big and dynamic, let that happen at any time or any point of this meditation. And as you name those things out loud for yourself, sense how there begins to be more space in your heart space. Both in the physical and the etheric heart space. How much lighter also in the gravitas or gravity sense, but also in the sense of brightness. There begins to be less heaviness and more lightness and more brightness in your heart space. As the sun is at the center of the planets and its light is reflected by the moon, it is very difficult for the soul to see itself as a soul, as the centering light. So just be patient and compassionate with yourself if you find it difficult to name any of those qualities that wish to be shining through your center. Notice the physical sensations in your body. Notice any emotions that may be active in your emotional body. Notice any thoughts that are going through your mind right now. And we'll activate the of our hearts. So keep sensing the heart space. Keep sensing all the layers I mentioned, the physical, the emotional, the mental layers. As you sense the different layers, draw in the energy, the sun energy or the solar energy, the planetary solar energy, fire through your base. Relaxing your base, dilating your base for the fires of magma and to the fires of the core of the earth. Allowing your body to descend even deeper. Allowing your body to remember that it is part of this earth. It is this earth. And the fire in your base is the fire at the core of the earth. Let that energy rise through your sacral and solar plexus to your heart. Let it burn anything on the way that may be not aligned with your inner divinity. You don't need to know what that is, just give your consent. And if that fire activates your Kundalini energy or anything else in the body that needs to move, needs to have more space, or that activates any pains or tensions in your body, allow your body to move around and with those sensations, with those energies, so that the energies have more space to move and not be so stagnant or stuck. And you can help yourself with a breathing, whether that be through your mouth or nose, whatever feels good in your body, trust that. As you allow that process to continue, I invite you to bring your awareness to your crown, top of your head, and dilating the crown for the fire from the center of the galaxy, the electric fire, activating your upper chakras in your crown and also above your crown. Just setting the intention and sensing whatever is there. And it doesn't matter if you can sense it or not. Just stay present with it. There's no need to imagine anything or visualize anything. Just setting the intention of aligning and connecting the core of the galaxy, the fire within. Allowing that electrification to pour down from your upper chakras to your body, to your ajna, third eye, your throat, and your heart. And again, if there are any physical impulses to move, let that happen. And those impulses may appear or manifest also internally. So that if there is any internal movement, just express that. That fire from the center of the galaxy mix in your heart together with the fires from the earth, from the planet. Since the dark core that is revealed when these two fires are mixed together in your heart. Drop into this core. Invite in the solar energy from the center of the sun through this core. And sense the life thread or sutratma in your heart center in the core. Sense it activating through all these fires, drawing in, pulling in the center of the sun in your heart. Letting that fill you. Letting yourself relax into that, lean that, and lean into that energy. Lean into that until you realize that you are that, you are that life. You are that that's taken this form. Reservoir of life, life force to build in your heart. Allow yourself to drop even deeper into the core of the sun, and through the sun to Sirius. Allow yourself to connect through your heart to the heart of the sun, and through which to connect to the heart of Sirius, the star Sirius. Allowing that blazing blue-white fire to penetrate you. And allowing that blue-white fire to love all the Devic lives in the bodies of your manifestation, all those beings in your physical, emotional, and mental bodies. Allowing that blue-white fire of Sirius to penetrate, to love those lives. and let that reservoir of life in your heart to be released in all the directions from your heart center as dark love, light, and power. Let that blazing light and fire activate and direct those lives in your physical manifestation as you are the god and goddess of their world. Sense the life and death nature of the energy that naturally destroys or ends those patterns of behavior that the lives in your etheric, emotional, or mental bodies have become accustomed to, but that are not aligned with your essential divinity. These take the form of complexes, patterns of thoughts, feelings, and habitual activity that have developed in your absence. So what is not aligned with your essential divinity, let that be purified. Offer that to the death energy and allow new life to be born. Just sense where the energy is flowing. You don't need to direct it or guide it with your mental activity. Please. Sense the purification that is taking place in the atoms of these lives as they change their vibratory rates as a result of the core activation. This purification can take the form of physical movement, emotional release, lessening of mental activity or something else, whatever is alive for you in your experience. Trust your intuition and your body with this. Sense the organization through resonance that naturally occurs as the cells of the different bodies in your earth express their core notes and find their way into the organs and chakras, the different structures and dimensions of your subtle bodies as well as the physical. So what is aligning? Sense the realignment, reorganization in your being. Finally, consciously radiate the life reservoir along the verticality of the Sushumna, or central column of the spine, and add the energy of the Sutratma to the Antakarana so that the connection through the base to the core of the earth and through the crown to the core of the galaxy is actively vibrating. Allowing that energy from Sirius to continue flowing through your heart center. And as you ground yourself deeper into the planet and into the core of the galaxy, aligning yourself with your essential divinity, ask yourself, what is my essence? What is my essence? What is the light that light supernal that I as a soul am meant to be burning here on earth? What is my unique piece of all the fires on earth? What is my purpose? And let the answer come. Developing sensitivity to the conditioning, environment, to all the other fires on the earth, to everything that is happening on the earth right now. Not being conditioned by them, but developing sensitivity to them so that you can sense how your essence and your purpose can serve the greater whole. What is it that you see is missing? What burns your flames? Or fans your flames even brighter? And then develop the sensitivity to the conditioning of your personality. Again, not be ruled, conditioned by the personality, but being sensitive to its needs, to its interests, its gifts, and how your personality can support your soul's fire. And what is still there that needs to be integrated in your personality so that it better serves yourself? What part of your personality is struggling or resisting yourself? Fire, that blazing, blinding light that you are. Feel it, acknowledge it, embrace it. Let it move through all the energy. in any way that is suited for you today. Then bring the external conditionings, the outer world, and the pieces that you notice that were missing out there, and your personalities, gifts, and interests together. Bring them together in alignment, and together in alignment with your soul shine, your sunlight, your fire, as much as is possible for you today. And see how that blazing light of yours can shine through all this. What is the plan for your life? And is there any room for consciousness of the bigger whole? So not just your self-centered need to shine at any cost. But how can that shining nourish and serve others? And by others, I mean rest of the humanity, the animals, the plants, the minerals, the beings that are not the physical incarnation of them. And just notice where you are at what stage of development are you at. There's no judgment or blame or shame about that. Notice and accept and embrace where you are, whether that be in the self-centered, selfish need to shine, because that is also a very necessary part of and step on the soul path, on the soul development. And if there is space for opening up to the sensitivity, bringing your light in service of the greater whole, notice that too. And as you keep your awareness in the heart center, in the heart space, connection to this through the center of the sun to Sirius is still open. Allow the waters of Neptune to flow through your heart. Allow the waters of God, waters of deity, to flow in. Let it fill you, and let those waters overflow and spread it and travel and go wherever it is needed, whether that be in your close circles or somewhere around the world. And you don't need to guide it with your mental activity, but just witness, as it is a power that is not ours to direct, but just to be conduits of. Let that water transform, let it cleanse whatever it needs, whatever is ready for that. And finally, notice, what is your responsibility as a soul? What do you take responsibility for as a soul from now on? What is the light that you stand in? Think it out loud for yourself. And see if any changes in your daily life need to be made because of that responsibility. Is there anything that needs to be changed so that you can shine your light? So shine your light even brighter. And are you 100% committed to those changes? Just a word of comfort at this point, if any fear kicks in, that it's not up to your mind to decide and try to do things so that your soul can shine better. Of course, there are practical ways how you can support your soul, but what I'm talking about is more about giving your consent to life to put you in your place and arrange your life and your circumstances so that you are aligned with your soul and with your essential divinity. And just surrendering to the transformations that await you once you give your consent. And they may happen today, they may happen next week, they may happen in 10 years. And it's okay if you don't want to give the consent. You have your free will. And that's okay. Perfectly okay. And if you do give your consent, do your best to find ease and relaxation into that surrendering. And again, take care of your nervous system, your glandular system, to support you in this transformation. With this, I invite you to find a completion for our journey today that is most suited for your body, for your being. Whether that be movement or yawning or stretching or deeper breaths or shaking, just sitting still or laying down. And when you are ready, I invite you back to our shared space on the screen. This concludes our guided part today. I thank you so much for joining me, for bringing your energy, for journeying together, for willing to do this work together. And if you have a full moon offering with you, I invite you to give that offering to the land with whatever you want to plant or seed, even though it's not the new moon right now, the full moon. Whatever you want to nourish with your offering. Give that to the land.